Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. Season 2, episode 50 of the good old-fashioned Friday variety show. Today's show is brought to you by K&J Insurance and our buddy, Kyler Henry. The presenting sponsor of this episode of the Wondering Dutchmen podcast is brought to you by our buddies, Kyler Henry and John Voiles, and the rest of the folks at K&J Insurance. Over at K&J Insurance, they do more than just sell insurance. They work to craft personalized plans of protection. K&J covers all personal insurance, including the major insurance needs such as home, auto, renters, motorcycle, off-road, and RV insurance. But they don't stop just there. They can also insure your business. You think K&J are done with personal and business insurance needs? Heck no, they aren't. Kyler and John can get you set up with any necessary Medicare plans and life insurance you may need. Talk about a one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Their office is located right next door to us in Petersburg, and you can check out their website, kjinsurance.net, or give them a call today, 812-809-4452.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast.
Well, none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wondering Dutchman podcast, where the guy that does all the announcing can't talk.
Hell yeah.
The Wondering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah. The Wondering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah.
Here we go! It's time for the greatest show to ever come out of Holland, Indiana. It is the Wandering Dutchman podcast, the Friday variety show, season 2, episode 50, being brought to you by K&J Insurance. We are in the lounge with a little bit of the red, white, and blue behind us, fellas.
Amen.
Not a little bit, a lot of bit.
A lot of bit, as we are.
Light emitting diodes lit up to 100% for probably the best holiday on the face of the planet.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
So it is. This will be airing on July 5th. So we hope you have 10 fingers and 10 toes.
And if you don't, God bless you for being such a patriotic person that you risked it all.
Unless you lost those fingers
God bless.
prior to
Fireworks.
then like if you had 9 before fireworks and 9 after, thank you for keeping.
Do
the
you
digits
realize how angry people got back in, what was that, 1771-ish? You had some guys drinking whiskey at this bar upset about the tax on tea going up 2% or 1%. And they got so angry that they waged war on a whole other ass continent. They said, to hell with you, Queenie. I guess it was a king back then.
Would have been 1773.
Oh,
the Tea
okay.
Act of May 10th, 1773.
So there were some old boys just sitting down getting drunk in 1773, just pissed off that they had to pay more taxes on tea after all the taxes they were paying. So they went and they said, hey, you know what, old kingy? F your tea. And they threw it all in the harbor. And then a little thing happened that we call the goddamn Revolutionary War there.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to blows with them
Mm-hmm.
because you're
The
taxing
English.
tea that we didn't even drink.
Right.
And I tell you what, living
What
here
Paul
now,
Revere say?
1 if by land and 2 if by sea.
Okay. Anyway, sitting in the middle for today's show is our buddy David Allen Smoker.
There he is.
On
Rocky.
Wednesday's show, I was drinking a little bit of wine.
Wine, yep.
You know.
Looking at the world through a rose-colored as well as a green-colored bottle is our buddy David Allen Smoker.
Buckle up.
Coming to us by way of Brazil, Indiana, from Richmond, Indiana. He hails the pride and joy of Richmond, our buddy David Allen Smoker. Sitting across from me with a light chuckle because he knows this is a shit show and he's involved in it just like I am.
I bet we
It
get
is
more comments on this one.
My buddy in the turtle shell glasses with the mustache, Zachary David Masner.
Hey,
Gives me a
guys.
chub.
And I am your host
With the most.
with the most, drinking Diet Mountain Dew and watching the train go down the tracks is Esquire.
Esquire.
Sounds like a
love it.
cuckold when you say watching the train.
Yeah.
Big different word.
That is true. Obviously, Smokes introduced us a little bit here. We've got 1776 on our mind, supporting the best holiday around. Back in 1773, when our ancestors said, "We ain't gonna take it no more."
Yeah. We ain't gonna take it.
If I ask nice, will you play a roughly 6-minute audio clip for me later off the YouTubes? If it's on YouTube, it's probably free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, we can make it work. Big fella, what you got?
Well, I mean, other than it's been hot, it did rain a little. We got a little shot of rain the other morning, which was awesome. So the grass is going to grow now.
Yeah.
That's good. I ain't mowed in 2 weeks now.
I know I haven't mowed in a long while either. So, Paul Harvey. I know where we're going with this. That's a good one. Yeah. Which one is it? The Pledge of Allegiance or Independence Day? Yeah, that's a damn good one.
Now,
Paul-
guys, this might be we've had a cry one time on this podcast. This
Right.
might be the second.
You?
Oh, this tugs at the heartstrings.
I know it. I've heard it. It's tough.
It might not, but it just tugs at
We're
the
not going to
heartstrings.
listen to
No,
it.
not
though.
now. This is going to be like my Friday variety is that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, other than that, just it's been hot. It's rained a little bit, which
Real hot, boss.
we needed it. But yeah, I've been working a lot, and I don't really. This.
Yeah.
What do you
American dream.
Well, I tell you what I love is this time of year when you there used to be that old expression, knee high by 4th of July.
got? Right.
That shit's 8
Now-
foot tall right
now,
now.
if your corn ain't tasseling by 4th of July, you're
Yeah,
behind.
Exactly.
But this time of year, I love when it gets that dry spell, and we're lucky to get a little bit of rain, which should be enough to get that early corn through. But, just shaping up around here in a farming community. Gotta love to see when the old barren grounds of the late fall and winter start to have green crops, and won't be long. They'll be harvesting by August, and
Hunters and gatherers.
everything goes from there. But no, not too much. Excited to get into this very patriotic episode.
Amen.
And guess what? That ice cold opener was
Hell
brought to you
yeah.
by Celebration Ice and our buddy Mark Siebert.
That ice cold opener was brought to you by our friends at Celebration Ice. Celebration Ice is the official ice utilized by the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. You look in the freezer in Smoker's Lounge, and it's a bag of Celebration Ice. Not only can you get the 7-pound and 20-pound bag at your local gas station, but Celebration does so much more with ice for special events, solid ice blocks, and even dry ice. If your local gas station doesn't carry Celebration Ice, demand it today.
All right, it's the Friday Variety Show. It's where we talk about what's on our minds. And just for reference, we are recording this on June 27th.
Right.
So the first presidential debate happened.
Oh God.
And we don't get into politics, and we're going to not talk about it to the extent that some may wish we would.
We're not going to get to the ideology of it.
Exactly.
We're just going to look at it from the broad spectrum.
I don't remember ever seeing one where it didn't look like a fair fight.
We're
Moving on. The thing about it is when you look at it, and you're talking about it, like Dave, going back to your history lesson there back in 1773, it would be funny if you could dial up the phone. Hey, George.
And call the Sons of Liberty back there
Yeah.
sitting drinking whiskey.
You get into the telecom. Hey, fellas, can you put me on speaker? I want to talk to you. Hey, what do you think about the present situation going on?
oh my God.
It
We're
would be
thinking
a-
about taking income tax up to 27%. Just for the poor folks.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's wild.
All that shit happened over it was 1 or 2% on tea, and them guys were drinking whiskey at noon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the big thing, I saw an interesting article that over half of our federal budget is in Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and disability. So anyways, so I saw the budget numbers, and you look at it and you just, where all that money goes.
Right down the shitter. That's
Yeah.
where it goes.
But it's, the runaway train of this inflation and other stuff. You got to get it under control, or there's going to be a lot of people headed to the poorhouse.
They're talking about their golf game, guys. Like they we're on a national stage.
We talk about our golf game all the time.
Yeah, but we're
We
not.
ain't trying to run the country.
Yeah, we ain't
the
running the country.
president of the United States of America. Guys, I don't give a damn who you stand for or what party you belong to.
Libertarians.
Like coming from a nonpartisan like mindset here, like a or bipartisan for that means, or a tripartisan, middle of the road guy.
Yeah.
Just on a neutral playing field. There's got to be term limits. There's got to be age limits. It's just like we talked about the driver's license thing.
Yeah.
Like if you can't talk,
Yeah, these dudes can't drive, much less run a country.
yeah, like if you can't drive to the grocery store and back without worrying about,
Killing a toddler.
or dying on your own, you shouldn't be the United States of America president. Like, guys, we got issues up there, and I think it really showed through on that debate.
Yeah. Changing gears a little bit.
Let's shift.
The NBA draft is going on right now.
Heard about that.
And with the 55th pick, the Los Angeles Lakers took a guy that played 1 year of college ball, and here's what his numbers are. If you're a GM of an NBA team, I want you to put
General manager?
Yep.
Yeah.
I want you to put your general manager hat on. Playing in the Pac-12 conference, he averaged 4.8 points, 2.1
Is this
assists.
LeBron James's son? Because I heard my kids saying there's some dude that just because he's some guy's kid, they took him, but he sucks.
You know when you build that sandcastle and you're getting ready to just
Here
get
comes
to
the wave.
Here comes the wave. That was Dave. Hey, thanks, Dave. I was describing Bronny James getting drafted with the 55th
But he
pick
sucks at
overall.
sports, right? Like he's like me.
Well, Dave, I was reading the numbers for people to be like,
Okay.
I wouldn't draft that guy. But
Got it.
it turns out if your father is LeBron James, you seem to get certain privileges that may not be afforded to others. So a shitty college basketball player that couldn't even cut it gets drafted 55th overall by the Lakers.
So how about our big, tall? No, I'm going to paint with a very broad brush here.
Okay.
How about our big, tall, like partly? Don't you leave. Our big, tall, partly Down syndrome-y looking, half Asian looking guy that played for the Purdue Bags. There she turned around.
Oh, you
There's
Zach
got it.
Edey was
Mr.
taken
Zach
9th
Edey.
overall.
Yeah, number 9 to the Memphis Grizzlies. I thought for sure he would go higher than that.
That's probably about right.
You think so?
Yeah, the one.
Didn't he do real good though? Like
Yeah, he had.
defensively, and I felt like
Now,
at the end he
let's
was
go back.
offensively.
Let's go back to the number 1 pick overall.
No clue.
Number 1 pick overall. Atlanta Hawks. They take a strong power forward.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what
Or a
power,
shooting SF. Shooting
Small forward.
Small forward.
I don't know where that is on the field there.
Now
or
this
whatever.
feller's name is ZACCHARIE.
Hey, I'm glad to see Amish in the basketball game.
He's French. Zachary.
Zachariah.
Zachary. Now
Zachary.
that's a hell of a long. He took the long way around that one, didn't he?
Now, what does a small forward do?
He's kind of a wing. He's
Yeah.
like he's too big to be a guard, but not big enough to be like
an actual
forward.
Might as well
strong-
be speaking French. I'll trust you on it.
a shooting. He's probably a shooting forward or like a
how
small
many
forward. Like
how many
probably
kids are
wing.
on the court at one time for each team? Like 5 or 6?
Five.
Five.
Okay. So this guy's way up there where the ball's not
You've
at.
got to be playing dumb here because you've watched a lot of basketball in your day with kids and the college that we've watched together, and you know for a fact that there's 5 players on the floor for
Negatory.
each team. Yeah, you're lying. I don't believe that for a minute.
There's a bunch of
believe
kids
this
on
is
the
an
floor
act.
at once.
I believe this is all an act.
You could believe it.
It's a farce. You knew that. You're playing dumb. You knew that
I
answer.
can't.
How many players does it take to play baseball, David?
7.
9.
You got a catcher and a pitcher, 3 base people, and then you got a left fielder and a right fielder.
And a center fielder and a fourth infielder there, pal.
Okay. 9.
How many players does a football team
Now that
have
I
on?
couldn't tell you.
How many people are on one side of the ball on a football game?
I couldn't even make a guess.
11.
Lots of folks.
22 total. Both sides.
That's why the money's so high. More people.
David.
I love it. Bottle and a half of wine.
You know how many people sit on a horse?
One.
One.
Yep.
Team
Well,
of one.
not all the time.
Anything that's actually judged for like competition is one.
Judge. I'll judge you.
Yeah, I bet so.
I'm doing it right now.
Dave's gonna have fun editing
You
this.
sack of shit.
It's gonna work out. To all of our new sponsors, thanks for coming on board.
Yeah,
We
9-minute
appreciate
episode.
Guys, this is great. So on the Friday Variety Show, I mean, it's all about the conversation. The
It
conversation is what matters the most. So with that being said, like, other than this and that, what have you been thinking about? Like, what's been going on?
I had a bad week of golf league. Struggled a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah. We didn't get off the old tee box very well.
Oh, no.
Rest of the game was pretty well.
So do you play with the same guy every time? You-
Just depends on the lineup. Andy and I play together a lot. Friend of the program, Andy McHugh.
Right.
So we had a situation.
Fine family.
Fine family. Yeah.
Model Americans.
We had a little bit of a situation on the 2 tee box where I went over into the donkey pasture twice.
Oh, twice.
Yeah.
Why? You don't ever hit or a freaking draw or a hook.
Oh yeah.
You
my,
do?
Oh, my miss is
At least
snappy.
twice.
I have 2 misses sometimes. When I'm not getting through it, I block it and I'll hit to the right, block it right. If I kind of flip and get handsy, it'll be snappy.
I always get snapped when I do that.
Yeah. So, but it wasn't good. Still, I mean,
It's tough.
played in the rain too.
Yeah. Rewind to Sunday last week. So Friday after work, I played with my brother, shot a 40. Once again, I think I shot a 48. I think I shot a 48. And he shot a 46. So he beat me by 2 that day. And then go to Sunday. We played in the VFW Scramble.
How's that?
The warden and I played with friends of the program, Mr. and Mrs. Christian Swinghammer.
Yeah.
Chris and Randy. We played with those two. I set the pace. So we played.
That seems like it would be
Hard to come out, maybe.
Yeah, I played my ball.
It seems like
quite a
it would
bit.
be like a very drunken kind of.
But it wasn't, because we knew, like, Justine and I had to go to Odin. So that was that. So Saturday, we had the old Dirt and Diamonds.
Saturday.
The old Dirt and Diamonds softball tournament there at the Huntingburg City Park, Eleanor. We had our debut tournament for our 8U Huntingburg All-Stars team.
Yeah.
And we went, what did we do? We won one. So we went 1-1 in pool play. And then we ended up getting like the 3 seed, I think it was. So then we had like that 8 a.m. start on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then we got pushed back for weather. So
Weather.
Yeah, it rained Sunday morning.
Oh, that little stretch. Yeah.
Just enough for the fields to get tacky, and they just pushed it back an hour to where they could work it a little bit. But anyway, I wasn't going to be able to make that game because of this golf scramble, because I had obviously previously committed to playing and didn't want to let old Swing and Randy hanging. So anyway, we got out there. It was raining when we started. We played 1 and 2 in the rain. We started on 7, so we played 7, 8, 9. So I was cocktail, and then played 7, 8, 9, went back in for another cocktail, and then come back out and played 9. And then we played, it was an 18-hole scramble, so then we played 7, 8, 9 again, went back in for another cocktail.
Lots of cocktails.
Yeah. I got to the point where I realized that I'm not a very good buzzed golfer.
No, that's a real
It's a fine line for me.
very slippery slope.
Very fine line for me.
There's a lot of those guys that they'll go have two two mixed drinks, two mixed cocktails,
Yeah.
and then go play golf.
Yeah.
I think, some of those guys that's a tough way to go about it to have to play golf that way. But
You got to loosen up. Little aiming juice. You know what I mean? People call it, aiming juice.
I feel like it helped me at our last outing.
Yeah, it does. Don't get me wrong. I like to have one or two, but I have noticed once you cross that line,
gets
you're
sloppy.
Yeah, you do.
I feel like if we went to H-Track now with headlights, I'd probably play the best game I ever played.
Not a chance.
I don't think so.
That's what you
couldn't
guys
get
think.
the ball off the ground, Gary.
You could go ahead and
Yeah,
tee
that's
one up in the
fine.
front yard. We'll see where
Yeah,
it goes.
I'll pay
Yeah,
you
I'll put it
$5,000
over the highway.
I give you $1 million if you do it.
We ain't got it, but I'll take a beer. And I'll put it over the highway later.
So tomorrow night,
Remember when Limp Bizkit said, you got to have faith?
yeah, tomorrow night we'll drink. We'll get into them maybe again, back to back,
Yeah.
and then I'll come out with the tea, and I have some glow in the dark balls left. Casey, you got some too, probably, huh?
Nope, I don't have any.
I got a bunch,
You
and we'll get them some bitches lit up, and I'll give you $1,000 if you can get one across the highway
I ain't going to take your money.
from
but
your front porch.
I can't hit it on the front porch, but I can hit it in front of the sidewalk on the front porch.
Yeah, I didn't want you to actually hit it off the concrete.
What do you think
David.
that range would be from your
120 yards.
Tops? I bet it's probably closer to 150.
150, 175, I'd say.
To clear it.
Yeah, other side of the road.
175 or better, but
Yeah.
it's not a ton.
So
You don't hit the ball very far, Dave.
I will right now. Now we got to get to this point. You got to let me get to the point where I'm saying, hey,
bottle half.
I'm on
and
my game.
2 beers, 1 beer,
Yeah, bottle and a half and
6 beers.
6 beers
6 beers.
and some nose candy.
Yeah, because look at this nostril.
Colombian Bam Bam.
You
Made for the
you
booger
really
sugar.
Don't have very good
Black
cocaine
tar
nose.
heroin.
Now, hold on. I've always
He's
told
got a
Jenna,
pointy ass crow nose.
Yeah, I noticed that.
but I've always
lift
told
your
Jenna.
nose.
Now, you wanna talk
hold
about
on.
it.
Now, hold on. I'm going to say it because the microphone's here. I've always told Jenna, I think my most symmetrical feature is my nose. I feel like my nostrils are very evenly spaced. And if you were to look at me from the ground up, because you were below me, you'd think that I had a perfect nose.
Your nostrils are 100% not symmetrical.
Long and narrow.
Yeah, your right one is
Well,
way.
maybe I'm breathing a little funny right now, but I feel like they used to.
Are
be.
you slightly flared?
They don't flare.
He should be.
Can you flare your nostrils?
I don't think so.
I think my nose is crooked.
Oh, mine's been
I
broke.
just assumed you got punched.
Mine's been broke a few
Not
times.
that I can remember where it would have
God,
been.
whenever you draw attention to someone's nose and really take a good gander at it, your nose is jacked.
Yeah, I
Your
always
left
noticed.
one,
I just thought you
your
got in a
your-
fight.
Your left nostril's way bigger than your right one. Now mine,
Which is funny because
You've got
I'm
a powerful beak.
yeah,
You've got a powerful
it's
beak,
what Justine would call
Got a
the
powerful
Masoner nose, i.e. the lowest nose.
Oh,
So our noses come from my late grandmother Lois. Now that woman had a hell of a schnoz on her.
Lowe's nose. You know what I'm saying?
Lois had a hell of a
Yeah.
schnoz on her. She was a wonderful lady. I miss her dearly. But she had a big nose, and so does my dad. My dad's got a big nose. But my brother, on the other hand,
he's got a little baby.
he
nose.
takes my mom's features. He's got little teeth, little nose. My mom has the smallest teeth you've ever seen.
Little ankles.
No.
Okay.
Hell no. We're built on good chassis. We don't have these
good. He got
Bitch
They ain't got no
shins.
bitch chins like I got.
bitch
Smoke a
shins,
bit.
but
I was just hoping for one.
like my mother has small teeth. And my brother has small teeth. Now me and my dad, we got these big horse
What would
chompers
you
and
say-
big old noses.
What are mine?
Hey, you got good looking teeth. They're very.
Those
did
are-
you
those are
have
s-
braces back in the day?
I did for a hot
Yeah,
minute.
no shit.
So did I.
Not
About
me.
less than a year.
I had some gangly old fucking.
I thought
chompers
Sigma was bad, but I've been seeing some TikToks that I think Sigma is good.
there. Yeah, it's better than Alpha.
So I was going to say you got some Sigma teeth, dog.
Yeah, dog.
What is Sigma?
I think it means
Oh,
good.
I'm gonna
Real
riz
good.
you up here in a minute.
Don't
Might have been a
riz me up.
Risley bear.
Are you rizzing him right now? You hitting him with the Riz sauce?
I can't. When those kids,
It's terrible, isn't it?
when they come
Yo,
to,
coach, am I going to cook next year?
What the?
Just let me cook, bro. Just let me
Yeah.
cook.
there's no
Like
They are
I have
gone.
no idea what's going on. You know what I mean? Like it's the wildest shit I've ever heard.
These kids, they come in and they just, bruh, and I'm like,
But
not
yeah,
bruh.
no, my nose is, I got a hell of a schnoz on me. And I've never done the cocaines, because I don't dabble in those things. But
That's tough. You got to be a rich man to do that.
I've heard that I've got the hardware for it. If I needed to really get
Get
down
into
on
it.
it.
You got a hell of a schnoz for
Yeah.
snorting the cocaine.
I could really get down in there and
Yeah.
on it.
Well, good news, you don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah, because we don't condone illegal drug use, and I get random tests at my current employer.
And
so
as
Same
the
employee of the month, that'd be one hell of a
June
tarnish.
2024.
Be one of a hell of a tarnish.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you one drug I don't do, and that's methamphetamine.
Yeah.
Because you ain't never seen a fat meth. Boy, we're going off the rails tonight,
Yeah.
fellas.
This is the best one we've had in probably 22 episodes.
You mentioned coaching earlier. So the College World Series got done last
God, they are roasted.
now, we talking about
now-
basketball still or
baseball.
baseball?
Yeah, World
So
Series
the head
basketball,
coach of
David.
Texas
That's right.
A&M.
Now say his name.
week. Slozenge.
Lozenge.
Can't say it either.
Sloshen.
I can't say it.
Lozinger.
Sloshenlongle.
No. Slosh and long.
You can slosh my longo.
I can't say his name either.
Schlosnagel. Schlosnagel.
That ain't right.
Schlosnagle. Schlosnagel.
Sloshushnu.
Schlosnagel. It's probably Schlosnagel.
Hmm.
But anyways, he was the head coach at Texas A&M.
It was.
Was the head coach
Keyword.
at Texas A&M.
Used to be.
Just got beat by Tennessee for the national championship. He
Church.
goes on to roast, or he goes on to fire back a pointed response at a reporter that basically, I think the quote was like, I left my family and everything behind to come to Texas A&M. And
I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again.
now pause
And
it
that
right there.
hadn't changed in my mind.
Oh, because it hadn't changed his mind. But less than
I thought he was a foreign person the way you were trying to say the name.
No. So less than 12 hours later, he's the head coach at University of Texas, Austin. Literally just took the job the guy was asking him
That's
about.
unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question.
You talking about Colson?
But I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. Write that.
Dang, right there.
Mike,
Thank you very much.
Mic drop and walks off the stage, grabs his water bottle and leaves. But come to find out,
He was gone.
he's a liar.
Yeah.
Like he knew he already had the job when he said this whole heartfelt piece.
Yeah. It's
And the
wild.
internet is destroying him.
Yes.
I wish I could find somebody that would.
So he is the coach at Texas right now?
Texas A&M.
And where's he
was
going?
at
He
Texas A&M.
he had been at A&M for a while.
Where's he going now?
Texas. University of Texas at Austin.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that.
Like hook 'em horn.
Yeah,
Hook 'em horns.
Matthew McConaughey. Big Texas guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what he is.
Okay.
He is that. He is that. Hey, fellas, anything else for the Friday variety?
Nah, I've said my piece.
Real quick,
Go
favorite 4th of July memory?
Oh my.
Do we have any?
So favorite 4th of July memory. Good grief, guys.
Or just a top? Yeah, a top or something that really.
My kids were absolutely petrified of fireworks back in the day. Like they could not do it. Like they hated every second of it. Like
Yeah.
they were like we would take them down to we'd go down to Jim Yellick Park on Fridays during July and watch the fireworks from Holiday World.
Yeah.
They would be all about it and ready to go. And then we'd get down there, roll the windows up, shut the back hatch. I'm not having it. No way. So when they started to like it and like sit in their own lawn chairs and watch fireworks, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like
What about you, Smoke Dragon?
I remember this one time I was maybe a little bit out of sorts.
Oh.
I had a little bit of wine, I had a
Never
little bit
would've
of
guessed.
beer, and I was hanging out with these really good dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And we made a podcast.
Oh.
We had one come out the day before the 4th of July, and then we had one came out the day after the 4th of July. And we
Yeah.
might have got off the rails on how we feel about that.
Yeah.
That was probably the best 4th of July.
Oh,
There you go.
Nice. What about you, bud?
Growing up, we were not big fireworks people. I think mom's work in the hospital and the ER back in the day, you saw a lot of bad things that you didn't need to.
Oh, 90.
So some of that has changed a little bit because my kids absolutely love fireworks.
Awesome.
And we, Sam's Club has a $500 neighborhood pack. That
Did you buy
it? Working on it. I'm going to need to borrow your trailer to tow it home.
Is it that big?
It's huge.
Yeah, it's a big
We
dog.
would have to fold down.
So we should all get one of them, meet in the Holland Park, and then
No way. We're going to meet right here.
Oh, I love you
Or
guys
up,
so
up
much.
on the hill.
My
Yeah.
dick got so
I've got-
very hard. Thinking we're
But
going to
they,
party there.
so the kids love them. The dogs not so much. We
We gotta get the old thunder blanket out.
Yeah, Janelle said she was going to medicate him this year. But my older brother and I, we had a close call last year, a year before. We let one of them artillery shells rip. Well, it didn't rip. Didn't get over there, and we didn't get away, and we barely got away in time when that son of a bitch blew. And it was the concussed feeling was unreal. Like it did. So. Probably that's why hard hearing, but yeah, never big 4th of July people to that certain extent. It's probably one of the big reasons I'd love to have a pool because I think you just spend the day in the pool and you hang out. And
It ain't bad. It ain't bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. So there it is. There it is. Before we move on, fellas, let's take a quick pause for the cause for our girl, Courtney Drew, and the courage for Courtney.
Hey, Wonders. You've heard Mace talking about it for a few weeks now, but we wanted to be sure you got it. Talking about Courage for Courtney. Our friend Courtney Drew has been diagnosed with cancer and needs our support. To help ease the financial burden of treatment and everything else, some awesome folks are hosting a fundraiser on July 13th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Venue 1408 in Huntingburg. It'll be an awesome evening with live music, dinner, dancing, a silent auction, and a bake sale. It's going to be a fun night for everybody involved, but most importantly, it'll be helping a great family get through a really tough time. Can't make it? Well, don't forget there's an online store. Look below for the link or scan the QR code that you see on your screen right now. Now, these are pre-orders, so you can order at any time, but the orders will be sent off to production in batches. You'll be given information on your batch and pickup options when you order. Let's rally together and show the power of community.
Hey, and we're back.
We
are back. We are back. We are back. We have pulled that big hefty cooler up here a million times.
Yeah, and it's too heavy because it's got so much stuff in it.
And
My
all of
arms are
Dave's
tired,
empty
boss.
wine bottles. So we're just going to tell you about it. That cooler is a White Yeti Roadie cooler. Holds up 24 beers or sodas, whatever you want to put in there. That cooler has been donated by our girl Lisa Pinkstaff, powered by
You mortgage.
You Mortgage. If you are buying a home where you need to take out a mortgage, call Lisa. Lisa should be your first call. She's going to be able to find you good rates. She's going to work on finding you good rates, not beholden to a traditional bank situation. Lisa Pinkstaff, powered by You Mortgage, is going to be able to get you a mortgage, get it done quick, because I think our big thing is closing time is greatly reduced. Also in that cooler, from our friends at Bob's Liquors, is a gift certificate and a hat from Bob's Liquors.
Yep.
We have donated shirts, koozies, stickers. That beautiful little poster over there is going to be signed. That's an OG original.
Baseball tickets.
Baseball tickets at our bar top for the July 18th game. So that is what we are contributing it to it. Our friends, what you found out on the Wednesday Wondering show, our friends over at Merkley and Sons have donated a $50 gift certificate
Oh, yeah.
for that bad boy.
You can load that cooler up. You take that cooler with
You watch that sale ad, and then you take that gift certificate.
No
do some damage.
No shit.
And here's the other thing. New, hot off the press,
What?
our buddy from Velpen Disposal, and who will crown us as the Velpen Disposal Open champions this fall, our buddy Chris Chop Smith has said, you know what? I'm going to give you $100 spending cash for that July 18th game. So there you have it. Run through it again here, Dave, because I know that's where you're
we've
going.
got a cooler.
From Lisa Pinkstaff, powered by You Mortgage.
We've got a 5-pack of Wandering Dutchman koozies.
From us.
A 5-pack of tickets at the Wandering Dutchman bar top along the first base line.
from the Bombers.
We got a
Well, no, we bought them from them. They are ours.
Yeah.
They're
For the
ours.
Bombers.
They didn't give us anything.
Nothing.
The Bombers have not.
Yeah,
given
they've
us
not
a
given
thing.
us anything.
Nothing.
Then you've got the 5 Wondering Dutchmen stickers plus one makes 6 because the cooler needs one.
Right.
And we got a Bob's Liquors ball cap, a $50 Bob's Liquors gift certificate,
There's a lot of shit in this cooler, Dave.
$50 Merkley gift card, and you can go buy ice for $1
Yep.
down the way this week.
Right.
Well, and that's the thing.
And $100 walking money.
Yeah, and $100
And
cash.
$100 walking.
And that's the other thing. We have to tell you about 2 other things going on in the community. First off, on July 12th, our friends at Huntingburg Grind, the coffee and tea company up there on 4th Street, they are hosting a a Goodwill donation for lunch. Okay. They are doing dogs, burgers, chips. They're doing kind of a nice little carry out lunch up there with the proceeds of that being donated to the Courage for Courtney fund.
Right.
Okay. So that's lunch on the 12th. Now, the 13th is obviously the dine and dance. That's going to be there. We hope you go there. Our understanding, what we heard today in present time, about 50 tickets left
Right.
for sale. So that's exciting. The third thing that we need to tell you about is our friend from the Ice Cold Opener, Mark Siebert and Celebration Ice, is doing a 100%. That's everything.
all of it.
All of it. That is raised by the Honor Box, which is right there at their shop. If the local mart's closed or you're leaving early or it's a late night and you
Or
need
if
a
you
bag
just
of
want to
ice.
go get it out of the honor box.
Yes, because I think the price is a little bit better there.
Yeah.
All that money is going to the Courage for Courtney Fund as well. So
Right.
that's a donation from those guys, whatever's made.
So the
Ice is
whole
$1 a
dollar,
bag. Yeah.
all of it goes.
But our challenge to you Wanderers,
Yeah.
$5.
Now, how much do you think
$20.
if you go
Yeah.
to the local gas station and grab a bag of Celebration Ice out of their cooler?
It's about $3.
Now, how much of that goes to Courage for Courtney?
None.
None. So, if you're going to spend $3.20 at the local gas station, you might as well spend $5 down there on Clay Street.
Or 20.
And you walk up there, you get the same ice right from the ice maker.
Hey, you know what? If you put a $20 bill in there, take 2.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Take 2 bags.
Yeah.
Take 3.
1 for
Hey.
1 or 2 for 20.
Those little elves that Mark's got in there working, making
Yeah.
ice
Cracking
with the
them
cracking
ice
it, they don't
trays.
That'll be
mind.
fine.
They don't mind making
They'll be
ice.
fine.
Arthritis and all. Just
be fine.
working
They
them
don't.
reds.
They don't
Totally
mind.
fine.
Well, they don't have arthritis because that cold keeps the inflammation down.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on there for the Courage for Courtney.
You're really doing great.
You've
trying
done
to.
so
Really
good
been
the
thinking
last
about
like
it.
4 or 5 episodes.
But yeah, go out there and support them.
That's
And
right. She's going to need it.
yeah, and it's just a good vibes,
Yeah.
positive vibes. That's
Real
what we
good.
want there.
Yep.
So, with that said, we are on to Brado's 3 big things.
Here we go.
Brought to you by our friends at Merkley and Sons.
Oh, that's right.
This segment is brought to you by Merkley and Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. Have you ever bought a 30-pound box of bacon at one time? Well, I did, and it was quite the experience. Opening up that box of fresh Merkley's bacon, knowing that there was 30 pounds of deliciousness in there, my goodness, what a deal. Be on the lookout next time so you can share in the same experience that I had. Here we go. First thing on Brado's 3 big things for the week of June 23rd, Stonehenge vandalized.
No.
Britain's most famous prehistoric structure, Stonehenge, was vandalized by environmental protesters on Wednesday. I'm really getting tired of their shit.
We didn't even talk about the travelers.
A video shows
What?
2 climate activists from the Just Stop Oil group spraying the landmark with orange paint. The protesters demanded the incoming government sign up to a legally binding treaty to phase out all fossil fuels by 2030. Hey, good news is you can go ahead and live in that Walt Disney World fantasy land because you ain't going to do that. The 2 protesters, a 21-year-old student from Oxford, probably a critical thinking major or like a creative writing major, And a 73-year-old man from Birmingham, not Alabama, we hope, because they wouldn't allow that down there, would
That's
they?
called
Andy McHugh?
Birmingham.
Were arrested on suspicion of damaging the ancient monument, police said. Stonehenge, the pyramids, thinking back to all the Dutchman's episodes, I'm not sure you guys have tackled the phenomenon mystery of pre-Columbus structures and just how, without modern-day tools, technology, they ended up there. Brado, that's probably a really
That
good
is
thing.
totally Brado, isn't it?
It is. We may have to have that next week, Wednesday, for a topic.
We'll have him
But
on
the
two different
fact-
shows.
The fact that the Stonehenge was vandalized, these people are running around with orange paint. They deserve to be beat with sticks.
Big ones.
Big ones.
Big fat ones the size of your wrist.
And especially the ones that sit in the middle of interstates and traffic, they deserve to be run over.
Right.
Like stray dogs.
Right.
Come at me if you think it's wrong, but you know what? You're holding up somebody from getting to work. What?
Did you just say the people that sit in between interstates?
Sit in the interstates. Like, yeah, they sit
Like
in traffic.
traffic
Police
blockers.
officers?
No.
the
Not in the
protesters.
medians, like the ones that try
I
to.
thought you meant the police officers that sit there and ticket. I'm like, wow, that's a change.
No.
Okay.
I know you got excited about the anti-authority there, Dave. I'm just saying these protesters that are
shit.
desecrating historical monuments and things about something that's not going to happen, never going to happen, because our girl Greta Thunberg, who said that the world was
Entire
going to end
ecosystems are going to die.
6 years.
Yeah.
She said in 6 years. You know how long ago that was? She said that, Dave?
A while.
7 years.
Like 8. And good for her for not making good for her for robbing people who donate to her that just say this silly bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I wanted to, so piggybacking onto that, the Travelers, so the PGA Tour event that happened last week.
Oh, I had myself worked up for something way more than golf.
No,
I thought you meant travelers like Interstellar.
there was climate change protesters
Yeah.
that stormed the 18th green
I think I heard about that.
whenever the leaders were coming on to putt out.
Well,
And they had like paint cans and or
Yeah.
smoke bombs or some
Yeah.
shit. And the cops desecrated it. They tackled them. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the one dude was like kicking and screaming when they were trying to carry him off like a baby that didn't get something.
I think states should start passing laws when individuals
Mandatory minimum sentences.
Well, when people start doing this and going out and doing these surprise acts like that, they should be allowed to use deadly force.
Oh,
They would
wow.
quit. They would quit.
Oh, wow.
If you drop, like if Dirty Harry dropped one of them bastards while he
Well,
was
now
running
wait a
on the
minute.
green.
Wait a minute. What if the people did something like really radical and we had to protest though? Like what if we had to do
There's a time and a place.
Okay.
The 18th green at the Travelers is
it's not the right
Did
platform.
USA crashes out of the top T20.
I
It says
didn't see it.
T20 Cricket World Cup.
Oh,
The U.S. ended
shit.
its run at the T20 Men's Cricket World Cup with a gut-wrenching defeat against England. Does anyone on the Dutchman squad have any clue how the sport of cricket works?
No.
For fancying myself a sports person, cricket may be the least amount I know about a sport.
No idea.
Are you a cricket?
No.
I feel like in cricket, you're not trying to beat your opponents. You're trying to beat the best version of yourself, which is what makes me like cricket, I think. So you're not really playing another team. Yeah, there's skill
No,
players.
you're
in.
completely playing another team. This
Yeah,
is like,
but I think like you're not.
I think you're thinking of croquet.
They're almost the same sport.
Absolutely not.
I guarantee if you put the
Cricket is like baseball, but with
No.
a mallet.
it's
it's a paddle.
it's like croquet.
Croquet
with
has
a
a
beaten
mallet.
stick.
No.
It's more like croquet than it is baseball.
Well,
Okay.
because croquet, you do have the wooden stake there.
It's
that you're
cricket.
trying to
The
hit.
cricket has, there's a pitcher.
And there's 3 stakes you're trying to hit with a ball, just like in croquet, where it's one at the end of the hoop.
Okay, so David knows a hell of a lot more about cricket than I do.
I don't understand how the scoring in cricket works. That's
No
where I
works.
struggle. You
And
know,
I
they
don't
still
understand
catch
how
it?
it works in croquet.
Don't
but
they
you know
catch
what?
it?
Sometimes
yeah,
you catch
can.
it after they hit it, but like the catcher has no relevance. You're trying to hit these 3 pins back there.
Yeah.
The pitcher is.
Yes.
But they can't hit it until it doesn't have to bounce first?
I think you
There
bounce it
could
as a
be
pitcher
like in
anyways.
croquet, you can't go out there and like punch the next person because you don't like them. There's like rules.
You can.
rule.
You know who's a big cricket guy?
Who's that?
Gene Mattingly.
Oh,
Loves cricket.
really?
We could call him
I
up
see
right
that.
now, and he would talk cricket.
I have no idea.
Because it's got that mix of baseball, and it's just it goes on forever. Like cricket matches could go on for like 3 days. So the T20, they stop how many. I'm going to say innings. Innings is not the right word,
No.
but like basically they cap it. There's
I
a
call it
limit.
chapters.
Tries. You have 20 tries, and that's it.
Chapters.
So goes from there. Trash balloons. North Korea sent another wave of balloons purportedly filled with waste and trash into South Korea overnight, reigniting a tit-for-tat exchange as tensions on the Korean peninsula continue to heighten. More than 1,000 such balloons from the north have made it into the south since May, according to a recent tally. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has said the balloons were a responsive act to the South's year-long practices of flying leaflets that contain materials critical of his regime. Man, balloons filled with the shit, huh? Those two must not really get along. Well, we did fight a war or a conflict. I mean, it's Korean War, but I think they call it a conflict about it. So, yeah, I don't think they get along up there on the Korean Peninsula.
Yeah, that's a lot of wild deals that happen up there. And that whole, like, we talked about it on Wednesday, but like those cult followings, like North Korea's, that's wild shit.
It's not a following. They don't know any better.
I know.
Like
that's
their internet's different.
Yes.
Like
Do they even have internet?
Yes.
they do. They do. But
only
it's very much
their-
restricted by the government.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's tough spot.
Seoul, South Korea. Oh God, I
we're
can't.
going.
Pyongyang frontline propaganda
Pyongyang.
broadcast. Yeah,
That's South
this is.
Korean.
You guys can read all this stuff, but this is kind of the scariest shit you've ever seen. South Korea's military said North Korea floated 350 balloons in its latest campaign.
Now you realize these balloons are filled with human excrement.
Or is it shit or just trash?
Yeah,
Human excrement.
that's what some of them have been.
Human. Can you say that again?
Excrement.
Yeah, he's spot on the money.
Tell me I'm drunk on wine,
There,
mother.
Brado, thank you, buddy. We appreciate you sending them in. We do read them. We do review them. We just unfortunately don't respond to your email when you send them. But we appreciate what you do, and we appreciate our friends at Merkley and Sons for sponsoring Brado's Three Big Things. And No Dear Dutchman, our people's wonder today. So we need a little group participation on that. So we're going to jump into one more lap around the table. Brought to you by Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair with our buddy Todd Hayes, who actually won the, what'd we raffle off that he won? One of the gift certificates.
Yeah, the Legion one, maybe.
Oh, I think he did win the Legion one. So we appreciate Todd coming on board.
The final trip around the table is brought to you by Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair of Huntingburg. Todd Hayes and the fellows are ready to assist you. Is your house hot and it shouldn't be? Probably need to get that looked at. Is your air conditioner making funny noises? Something else you probably ought to get looked at. Todd and the crew stand ready to assist you in keeping your house cold for you and, of course, the rest of your household. Give Todd a call today at 812-630-5719.
Big fella, bring us home.
I seen a TikTok today that could potentially be like my.
Spirit animal.
I told the guy that we were at lunch, and I told him, I said, "Hey, I think this could be like my new mantra." And what does a mantra mean, Dave? Like,
It's like your personal slogan.
yeah. And I said that, and it's completely against my. It's 100% not me, but it's something that I think that I'm going to try to strive for. Like when I play this, it's going to sound like you're going to listen to it and you're going to be like, that is so much the opposite of you, but it's something that I want to strive for. So I'm going to try to do this.
Classified as a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit.
Okay.
Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is classified as a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. You don't have to open your mouth and dump out everything that's going on in your brain. You don't have to tell people everything you know. You know, there's two sides of that calm thing. There's the people who stir things up around you, but there's the times we go around and we tell tales and we agitate. Hey, I heard this. I heard this. Did you hear this? And they're stirring stuff up. Be that quiet man. Be that quiet man in the corner, all right? You got something to say that's good, beneficial, helpful, or properly corrective at the proper time, then say it. Otherwise, be wise. No.
I'm going to try to strive for that. Did you catch it all?
Yeah.
Every bit of it?
I feel like I did.
Yeah.
But
did you catch at the end when he says overall be wise?
Right.
Doesn't mean you have to say anything or not say anything.
Right.
I think what that's saying is at the end, let
Knowledge.
your heart lead the way. Bro.
Knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit.
But not to put it in fruit salad.
But being wise is to know to not put it in a fruit salad. Yeah. That's a good one.
Live for what you love and love what you live for. You know what I mean?
Amen, bro.
God dang, did that come out right?
It did.
yeah, sure.
Oh, it sounded like it.
What you got, big
Here's
guy?
what I got. I want to thank Kyler and K&J Insurance for being the title sponsor, bringing this episode to you all of July. If you have insurance needs, give Kyler a call. Big thank you to Mark Siebert and Celebration Ice for that ice cold opener. We appreciate his support, and we also appreciate his support for Courtney and Rusty and family. Obviously, we're going to do everything we can to get everybody on board and there on the Courage for Courtney. We have a hell of a silent auction item that's there. I know they have a list of great stuff. Couldn't go to, two people good people, that have lived in this community, supported this community. Their kids are in this community. Go support them there on the 13th, as well as be there on the 12th up there at Huntingburg Grind for their Goodwill lunch donation. And obviously Todd Hayes with Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair for sponsoring that kind of last lap around the table. We appreciate them for being on board. They might not be excited about this episode, but we're excited about it for them.
Very nice.
Because it's going to be interesting. So other than that, I want us all, if you're still listening to this, to take a moment and stop what you're doing. I want you to stop. Like, obviously, if you're driving, don't just slam on the brakes or whatever you're doing. But wherever you're at, if you have the opportunity, I want you to stop for this one moment. And I want you to just stop what you're doing and get into a frame of mind and think about how blessed you are. How blessed you are for, could be your health, could be your job, your husband, your wife, whatever it may be. But I want you to take a moment today. And if it's right now, it's right now. If it's later, where you sit there and you appreciate and be grateful. Because I was kind of in a bad mood last week. I was just in a bad mood.
Oh, yeah.
Just bad mood at the end of the week. And heard some news on some other things that I'm sure eventually will come out.
Yeah.
And I stopped for a moment and I thought, you freaking fool. Think about how lucky you are.
Yeah.
How blessed you are. To 3 wonderful children, a wonderful wife, a great job, a great career, you guys, friends, the ability to do a lot of things. And I felt so selfish in that moment because I know there's other people going through other things. And we've talked about it. And we got another guy that's a, friend of the program, Dave from, your back stomping grounds there. That's a buddy that, he's getting up for a fight and we're going to be there for everything he needs. But just that moment of selfishness. And I want you to stop and take a moment. And if you're, if you have faith and you believe in God and that's and you do that, you thank God, thank him for it. If you're not and you're a karma vibes person, just be grateful for those good vibes and good karma you got. Because I had a moment where I was just in a bad freaking mood and I'm like, this is so dumb because there's other people with other things going on. And it was a good realization and we lose that sometimes. And so take this moment,
Take it.
think about it,
Think about it.
quick prayer and say, hey, glad we have the blessings that we have.
Too blessed to be stressed, bro.
And we're not facing some of the things that other people are facing. But just know if you're facing something, we're right there with you. We are right there with you. And with that, on a very patriotic 4th of July,
Amen.
to our sponsors, we thank you. to the men and women and their families that have defended this country for generations, because I believe we live in the best damn country in the world. No doubt about it. Even though, as we talked about the debate, the ship might be spinning circles in the harbor.
We'll
We're
find
still tossing that tee off that sumbitch, right?
Hell
Dave?
yeah.
Dutchman out.
Dutchman out.